And that's it. We're unstoppable.
Ah,
Or at least
in
the
the snowy
snow is
weather.
unstoppable here in Toronto area. I got to tell you, I was supposed to go out for lunch with a former colleague of mine today after later this afternoon. And we said we'll just kind of wait and see. And literally an hour ago, it looked fine. And now it's like a blanket of white snow on everything. Whew, just like that. So, anyway, but happy Friday, everybody, and welcome
Yay.
to the kitchen because we're inside and we're cozy and we are making some dressings and sauces today for you. And this is for you to have some really easy dressings. How many of you buy your dressings at the store? I used to do that all the time. And then when I realized how simple it is to make my own, I stopped buying them at the store because I could just make them up on the fly and I know what's being put in them. But I used to buy, can I say it? A lot of craft dressings and other ones. And they have preservatives in them and emulsions so that they don't, they stay even and, all that stuff. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make a dressing on your own. So we're going to do a vinaigrette, which literally I'm going to make in a jar, a small amount. And I'm just making enough for one person. You can increase the recipe and fill up the jar and then just use it when you need it over a week or two. The other one I'm going to do is a base recipe that is oil free. It now, in order, have you ever been had a dressing that was supposed to be oil or fat free and it's like water? So when you put it on your salad or your bowl, it just goes to the bottom. It doesn't stick on all of the food, and you got to keep, trying to mix it up. That's what happens. So what the fat does is it actually helps to stick to the vegetables or whatever it is in your bowl that you're making. And then I am going to make another dressing that uses vegetables and fruit instead of all this other stuff. It is my humble dill potato dressing. And yes, we're going to put a potato in our dressing. So I want to show you a few ways that you can do it, and then I have some resources for you at the end so that you can try whatever feels comfortable to you for dressings. So we're going to start with the easy one. Easy. I'll say it's easy. And that is just an oil and vinegar. And I'm getting my recipes out because I I do these on the fly. Literally, this oil and vinegar, when I make it, I just make it on the fly. I don't even measure anything, but I'm going to try and be good and measure for you guys. Now, oil. If you have flax oil, this is really great because it's actually more like a supplement than an oil. And this is a great thing to you. It's got your omega 3s, and I have some, but I have very little. The other thing, I got to go to the store and buy more. The other thing you could do is an extra virgin olive oil. Now, this brand I get at Costco, good old Costco, and it is a first cold press extra virgin olive oil. So when you're buying your oil, you want to look for an oil that is cold pressed. That's what extra virgin olive oil means. It's the first press of the olives, and it's done like with a press, not. And one of the things that I have heard is that olive oils and oils in general, they're being watered down because they're popular, and olive oil is one of the foods that honey is one as well that gets watered down. And the way that you can tell if your olive oil is good olive oil is that when you put it in the fridge and cool it, it will have a milky look to it. If it still looks clear when you put it in the fridge and it's cool, that means that somebody has put some other stuff. So this is an organic oil. So this one, I can tell you. I have one in my garage and I can see it's milky. So this one is a good oil. And the other one I just want to note, because you could use other oils. I actually prefer a lighter oil, but one of the ones that we use here is avocado oil. But apparently avocado oil, a lot of times by the time it gets to our house, it's already rancid. So oils, when they go bad, they go rancid, and then it's like nuts and seeds. So if you can keep them in the fridge, that's always better for storage, especially things like avocado oil, because they do go rancid quite quickly. And perhaps you don't buy the big gallon jug, you buy a smaller one, just because they don't keep as long, the avocado oil especially. So just a little hint for that. Now, I'm going to use this olive oil, and it's calling for 3 tablespoons of oil. Now, I just mix it up myself, like literally, you don't need to mix this. You could use less oil if you want. Like, it's up to you what you decide to do for how much oil you're going to use. I tend to probably use less than and add some more other things in. Let me put my oil to the side. I'm going to add in some lemon juice, and for today, I didn't go to the store to get real fresh lemons. If you have fresh lemons, that's the best, to have fresh squeezed lemons. My alternative, because remember, done is better than perfect. I have this lemon juice. It's an organic lemon juice, fresh pressed, not from concentrate. So this is my go-to. And I buy the big jug because my family uses a lot of this. And so I'm going to do a tablespoon of lemon juice. So when we're making salad dressings, we want to have a balance of like the oil or the fat, again, so it sticks to the food. We also want to have an acid. So I've got lemon juice here, and I'm also going to put some apple cider vinegar in here. So I have my apple cider vinegar, and I buy my apple cider vinegar. This is a jar I use and I refill. I buy a apple cider vinegar, a big jar, a jug of it at Costco for a very good price, and then it's organic, and I just refill it. So that's another thing that you can do. You could buy this one. So I just keep refilling this little one. I don't want the big jug in my house. Like, the jug is like bigger than this thing here. All right, so I've got my acid now. I'm going to add some flavoring with some Dijon mustard. I was talking to my daughter who lives in London, England, not London, Ontario. I'm just going to use this spoon because I don't want to mess up my measuring spoon. So I'm just going to do about roughly a teaspoon-ish. She says she just makes a oil and vinegar dressing with oil, a little bit of oil and a little bit of Dijon mustard, and boom, that's her dressing. So you can make it that simple if you wanted to. All right, let me put this somewhere. Put it in there. So I've got my Dijon mustard. I'm going to add some garlic. Now I have some cloves of garlic that I peeled and I smashed. And the reason I did that is because when we're working with garlic has amazing antibacterial, antimicrobial properties. It is a really good cancer fighter, all those things. But in order to really get the benefit, we want to cut it or chop it or something to allow the enzymes to start really formulating for about 10 minutes or so before you put them in any food. Now I'm using my press. I've got a garlic press. You could use a grater to mince it. I don't imagine you want, if you were leaving this and putting it in your fridge for a while and not using it right away, then you might want to, you could cut it up and then have the chunks infusing the garlic while it's sitting in the fridge. And whatever works for you. You can use garlic powder, but fresh garlic is better, obviously. But that's better. And now we're going to add a little bit of sweetener. So this is going to help balance the acid. And I used to think, oh, I don't need to put any sweetener in. And it does make a difference because it takes the edge off of the acid when you put a little bit of sweetener in. I'm going to add about a teaspoon-ish. And literally, if I was just at home making my own salad, I would just like be pouring without measuring. But that comes with time and knowing what you're doing. And there you go. There is a nice salad dressing. Now I could mix this up. This is a 1 cup. This is 1 cup. So you could fill this up and then you've got it for putting on a salad, putting on a bowl that you make, whatever you want to use it for. And it's that easy to make your own salad dressing. That's it. Just like that. And you probably don't use as much time when you're not talking to everyone either. So this is vinaigrette. And I have in the resources that I'm going to give you at the end, I have a thing where you can kind of have an idea of how you can vary this and add other ingredients to, this is just a plain vinaigrette. You can spice it up if you'd like and do some other alternatives for yourself. And that's it. Boom, we're done. All right. Now I'm going to show you a base recipe. We can use the base recipe to add other flavors to it. So this is an oil-free dressing, and it's not fat-free, it's oil-free. So we're going to use our healthy fats through cashews and hemp hearts to bring in that viscosity that will stick to our vegetables. So this is a very common plant-based idea, and it kind of replaces those dairy foods that we don't eat on a plant-based diet. All right, and I forgot to put some water together. Let me get some water. Oops. Yay! So I'm gonna start with a cup of water in here. And I'm going to add, I've got half a cup of cashews that I've soaked. So I soaked them for about 4 hours. Now cashews, we're soaking them for 2 reasons. The first one being so that if you don't soak them, they're grainy when you blend them up. So we want them to be creamy. So that's a real good reason to soak them. And also they have enzyme inhibitors. This is a property of nuts and seeds. So we want to remove those enzyme inhibitors that are on the surface because enzyme inhibitors are like an anti-nutrient. They're hard for us to digest and to absorb the nutrients into our body with those enzyme inhibitors. So I soaked it for about 4 hours is good. And the other way that you can do it is if you're in a pinch because you forgot to soak the nuts, with cashews, you can soak them for about 15-20 minutes in boiling hot water, and that will soften them enough so that you can use them for blending. I prefer to soak them for the 4 hours, but in a pinch, and I've been in a pinch, I will use the hot water method to do a quick soak. Now, you could actually use a cup of cashews. If you have allergies to nuts, you can use sunflower seeds, and again, you're going to use that soaking them before you use them the same way. And then I'm going to, instead of doing a cup of cashews, I'm going to add some hemp hearts in, which is another way to get the healthy fats. And also some protein in. And I keep my hemp hearts in my fridge. So I'm going to use a half a cup of hemp hearts to start. I keep them in the freezer, actually. They're a good source of omega-3 fatty acids, so I keep them in anything that's like got the fats in it, I keep them in the fridge or the freezer. Okay, so that's we've added our water, some water. We're going to add some lemon juice. So we're going to add our acid in. So let me get my measuring spoons again. So 3 tablespoons this time of 1, 2, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I splashed a little bit. So that, and I've got 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So let me add those in. I'm going to add in a little bit of Dijon mustard again. I don't think I used Dijon mustard until about 3 years ago, and now we buy the big one at Costco. Everybody loves the Dijon mustard in our house now. It's great for salad dressing. So I'm just going to put a couple of heaps in, a couple of teaspoons, roughly. And then I'm going to add a couple of cloves of garlic. Again, I've already minced these or cut them up in advance. They got smashed to peel them, so I've got that. Oops. I think I'm going to make sure everything's good. Yep. Put those in. I'm going to add some maple syrup again to balance it out. So we're going to use, I think I'll start with a tablespoon, and then you can always adjust. And then we're going to blend it and see where we're at. Let me move this over, blend it up. Boom. And this is going to be our base. Let me taste it first. See how it tastes. I can taste the garlic. I love it. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this into a jar. So I have mason jars are your best friend because they're pretty economical for storing things in, and you can get various sizes. There's the quart or the liter. That's what that is. This is 750 mils or 3 cups. We have our 2 cup or pint jar, and we have our 1 cup or 250 mils. Beautiful. And you buy them like in, I don't know, I think it's usually 12 in a box. So you just have to buy one and you've got a lot of jars. And then these are great for storing. So I think this is going to be a good size for this one. Now what's going to happen over time is this will be last in the fridge for a good week. Maybe a little more, but what happens is it'll thicken up. This is what a lot of the plant-based dressings will thicken up. So if they're thick to start, they're really going to get thick. If they're too thick, add a little bit of water or some, like a little bit of juice, lemon juice, whatever you want. So add a little bit more liquid. If they're too thin, if you think they're too thin, it will thicken up, but you could add a little bit more of the hemp hearts or the cashews to thicken it up as well. I think this is about just right with the 1 cup of water. I got a little bit more in the bottom. So this is our base. We can use it just like it is, or we could use it to make alternatives. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my little cup here. Oh, maybe I'll put it in here. It's going to be a little big for this, but let's say I'm feeling like having a French dressing today. I'm going to pour some of this into my container. I'm just making a little bit. And then I've given you some ideas of different things, the variations that you can make. Where are they? Where did my variations go? All right. So I'm going to do a French. Now with the French, I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. Just going to add some tomato paste to this. And you can judge it by, when you stir it up and make it to what you want. I'm going to add, because French dressing's a little sweeter, I'm going to add a little bit more maple syrup. A little bit of apple cider vinegar. Just a little bit. And now I'm going to stir it up. Maybe I want a little bit more of my tomato paste. It's almost like, I hate to say it, you could actually pour ketchup in, but I'm not advocating for ketchup here. Not on this show. But you can make your own ketchup with tomato paste, maple syrup, and some vinegar. That's how you can make ketchup.
Peppy, are you looking for a color? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm just looking for a color and taste. So a little, like French dressing is usually orangey. So this is orange now. And then I obviously have to taste it to see how it is. Not bad. I might put a little bit more, I don't know, a little more maple syrup. I don't even know what I'm looking for, Kathy. You just play around with it a little bit to make it.
You're letting the creative juices flow.
Yeah, that's what you do.
No. You're letting the creative dressings flow.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more tomato paste too. Now you could do like a Caesar dressing. You can do a ranch. You could do anything really. I've got a few here. I think I'm going to add a few more here for you in the recipe. Whatever feels good to you. You could add more Dijon mustard if it feels good to you. Add a little bit more, whatever. It definitely had garlic in it, so. Not bad. Now you have like a French dressing. All right, your own play on a French dressing. Boom, and you could do whatever you want. And now, I think I mentioned this last week when we did our sauerkraut. I like to use plastic lids. They come with metal lids, which are fine, but they can rust. So I got a good deal at the end of the canning season last fall on some of the plastic lids. So I can use that, put it into my fridge. You might want to label it. You can shake this up so that you get all the stuff mixed up. And there's a couple of dressings. You could use this as a base to add other flavors. You could add dill to it. We're going to do dill dressing next. Woohoo, my favorite. Or you could, whatever you want to make flavors, or just use it the way it is. It's good like that. All right, that's dressing number 2 with alternatives. And now, all right. I don't know what happened here, but I'm going to have to change my recipe. I'm looking at it. It's not the recipe that I was planning to show you. So let me go get that from my thing. Here we go. Let me get my recipe. All right, I got my recipe for my humble potato right here. Now, normally my vessel for my blender would be clean. I'm not bothered by it because I'm just making another dressing, and This is what I have, so we're just going to use that, and it's all good. So what we're going to do is we're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of flax oil or olive oil. So today I'm using olive oil. It's just going to add that here. Roughly 1/3 of a cup. So this is the fat to give it some viscosity. Add that in. We're going to add in 1 potato, and I'm going to add the skins in. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't do it. Now I baked this potato this morning and it's cooled off now. And Helene, I baked it in my foodie because our oven still doesn't work. It actually works pretty good. Baked my potato. I have a green apple, a small green apple. Oops, it hit the, gonna add that in. I'm just gonna cut around the core. Now I can dice this, but I have a, if you're using a regular, not a high-speed blender, but a regular blender, you're gonna wanna make sure you have good chunks, but when you're using a high-speed blender, it will work very well to blend it up. So I've got a little apple, which will give us some sweetness as well. Now I'm going to add some dill. If I was in fresh dill, not happening in the winter, I'm using dried dill. But if I was in this, in a time when I could get nice fresh dill, I would be using fresh dill, but I didn't find any. And so for every tablespoon of fresh dill, you use about a teaspoon. I love dill, so I'm going to do about a tablespoon here. You could start with less and add more as you need, always better that way. I've got to add my oil in, so I've got some apple cider vinegar here. So we're going to do 1/4 cup of the apple cider vinegar, roughly. Boom. A couple of tablespoons of lemon juice. Some maple syrup. I'm going to do a tablespoon of that. And then I have garlic. Yeah. A good clove of garlic. And then we're going to blend this up and see if we need to add some water, if it needs water or not. Just filling that up. All right. Oops. I can already tell it's going to need some water. So let me go get some water. Start with a little bit. Don't want to put too much. So like about 1/2 cup I did there. All right. Tell me you don't want to go. I have my tamper here. I'll just use it for a second. All the stuff is need to dissipate the liquid here. potato does is it actually makes the dressing creamy. Or you like creamy dressing. If you don't like creamy dressings, maybe you don't want to use potato. All right. So I put about a half a cup. This is a nice consistency for a dressing. Good. It feels a little bit acidic to me, so I'm going to add a little bit more maple syrup, so you can play around to get the taste that you like once you do this. And boom, here we go. Boom. I can add this, I'll do this later, but I could add this to my, where's my thing here? I can add this to a jar, put it in the fridge. This might be thick tomorrow. Yeah, that's better. And there we have our humble potato dill dressing. All right. So those are 3 types of dressings. And pretty much you can make a lot of different combinations with those dressings. And you can put them on whatever you want. Of course, I have today a potato. So I could use one of these dressings to dress up my potato instead of eating it plain. This potato has a little bit of stuff on the end, so I'm going to get rid of the end. That's good. I can take and just pour, hang on here, pour some of the dressing over top of my potato. And by the way, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I love potatoes, and that potatoes, that humble potato, somewhere along the way somebody said potatoes are not good for you because they're just a starchy carbohydrate. This is the low carb thing. You know, oh, there are too much carbs in potatoes. Potatoes are an amazing, nutrient-dense food. It doesn't matter what kind of potato. Sweet potato, russet potato, white potato, red potato, whatever, purple potato, they're all good for you. So when somebody tells you not to eat potatoes because they're just starchy, you can tell them they have lots of nutrients in them. So let me taste this. An easy way to dress up anything if you like your sauces and your dressings. Boom. All right. Now let me check and see if there's any questions from anybody, and then I've got some resources for you.
Debbie, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can you use these dips that you made or dressings as dips?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
You could make them like less liquid, and then you could use them as a dressing, as a dip. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You can vary the amount of liquid to make them into a dip. Beautiful. I love that, Patricia.
Thank you.
All right. Now, let me find. I'm going to give you the link, but I'm going to warn you that I want to make a change here. I'm not sure if it's that it wasn't saved, but I know that the humble potato dressing is not quite the right one, but I'll change that. You can still have the link for the dressings here. And then I have a couple of resources for you that I want to share. Now, the potato dill, the humble potato dill came from, not specifically came from the Eat Real to Heal program, but my mentor, I did the metabolic nutrition and detox program through Nicolette Richer and the Eat Real to Heal program. So this is a great program if you are healing a chronic disease of any sort. It's a really great program. It has known to it's pretty rigorous, but it can actually reverse cancer diagnosis as well. It can help you with that if you know anybody. So there's ways that we can use food as medicine to really heal and reverse chronic disease. So that's her program. And she has a dressing, and I'm trying to find my link because I know I had the links in here. But she has a dressing book, a resource that you can take advantage of. Hang on, here's her salad dressing recipes. So if you're interested, and she has a bunch of really cool dressings. I was thinking about making one from her book, which is a ninja yam dressing. She uses a sweet potato. So all of her dressings are using real food, and she always uses flax oil for the oil base because it's a supplement, not an oil. It's used as a supplement. So here is the link for her dressing book if you want to get hers. And then I also have another mentor of mine, one of the other ladies that was so instrumental in my journey. And this is the Pacha Vega, which is Danielle Arsenault. I did my raw food chef certification program through her. She is amazing. Both Nicolette and Danielle are amazing, and they both are very much about plant-based eating and lifestyle and reversing chronic disease through food as medicine. And so she also has a beautiful dressing book. It's called All About the Sauce, and she'll give you actually recipes of bowls you can make with your sauces. So there's some really great recipes there. So those are two links where you can get some amazing recipes for sauces and dressings. And then I have one more thing for you. I have a build your own salad guide or dressing guide. It's just a 2-pager, which gives you some ideas on things that you can do to put together your own dressing. So what ingredients that you want to do, and you can mix and match ingredients and put together your own. Now, I think it's downloading right now. There it is. This is just a PDF that I put together with some ideas of how you can combine different foods to make a vinaigrette or to make like a creamy dressing. I think it's a creamy dressing that I have there. Yeah, you can do just like a dressing with the different pieces, the base, the acid, the flavor booster, a sweetener. The sweetener, it says it's optional, but I really think it's not optional. I think that it really cuts the acid. Like I love the acid, but it just needs something to cut it so it's not so sharp. Look at me talk about these flavors. Okay, so there are a whole bunch of different resources for you to be able to make your own salad dressings yourself. I don't know if there's any questions. So Cosmic Shanty, maybe next week we'll do roasted veggies because I know you asked about that, but it depends. I am still without an oven, so hard to roast things. I'm roasting things in my Ninja Foodie. I roasted my potatoes in my Ninja Foodie. It works. So I might still be able to do the roasted veggies. I'm going to test it out this weekend, and if that works, I'll do that. If not, we'll do something on the stove or something raw. I saw a recipe for a carrot cake, and I thought, ooh, maybe that would be a nice thing to make on our show, is a carrot cake. So we'll see. I'll keep you waiting with bated breath, but that's either it'll be something like that, or if I've got an oven or a way to make roasted vegetables, we'll do that next week. And I wanted just to let you know, I am furiously working on my book. It's called Growing from the Roots Up, The Hidden Cost of Success for High Achieving Women. It's about the nervous system and nutrition and my story of how I kind of got to where I am and some of the things of other people. And I am in my final edits this week, and I'm planning to go to press on April the 7th. So it is coming soon. The other thing, I did my very first keynote speech last Thursday night, so a week ago, just over a week ago, to a group, international group on Zoom. And I'm very proud of that. And so now I'm working on getting other speaking gigs as well. So if you
And
know
you
anybody,
did our group.
yes, Helene invited me to do a presentation to her, one of her groups at the North York General Hospital, and I was so excited to come and really enjoyed it. And I think I'm going back to do it live.
Yes, May 7th.
May
In
7th.
person.
Yeah, so if you have a group that you would like me to present to, I would be very happy to oblige as I get my speaking career going here on, yeah, nutrition and nervous system. All right, so that's it. That's enough from me. That's a lot from me today.
Please show us how to prepare Brussels sprouts from Cosmic Shanty.
Oh, yeah, if you do Brussels sprouts right, they are so good. So good. Oof.
We just do them in the microwave.
Oh yeah, no,
We've
no, no.
just done them in
I
the
don't even
microwave.
have a microwave. We do them two ways, Cosmic Shanty. Roasted. So when we do our roasted vegetables, I'll show you how to roast them there. And we also saute them on the in a frying pan on the stove. That is nice. And they are so good. The trick is not to overcook them when they end up being that smelly, soft, mushy. Ugh. But I haven't seen a lot of good Brussels sprouts. My kids have it on the shopping list all the time, and I haven't found. They've been terrible this year. But if you find some nice Brussels sprouts, absolutely. Oh, one of my favorite, and such a great vegetable. So, okay, we'll have that on our list. And I love if you have any requests. I so love it. It's so much easier having requests than it's like when my kids say, "What's for dinner?" And I say, "What would you like?" And it's like, "I don't know. Oh, give me some ideas." So I love the ideas. I love the requests. So keep them coming. Oh, and you made me hungry for Brussels sprouts. All right. Okay,
I want
everyone. Sorry?
the chocolate. I want the what's it called? Those chocolate bars that we did
Oh, chocolate
when you
bar.
came here.
Yeah, okay.
Those chocolate with the I can't think of what it's called now.
I
The
got lots of
the
stuff.
frozen ones. The ones we put in the freezer. The ones when you came here and we put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Okay. I can't remember what we did. I'll have to remember.
With the nuts and the banana and the maple syrup and the cocoa powder.
Okay.
I think it was.
I think I have I gave you a bunch of recipes, so I'll look up the recipe. Sure, we could do that. And then we
So
have
good.
string beans with mushrooms and almonds. Yum. Yeah, there's my mom used to make beans almondine, which really just means beans with almonds, slivered almonds. All right, we'll put that on the list too. All right, ladies, I hope you have a good day. It's still snowing here. I think we're supposed to get 6 centimeters of snow.
Don't say that. Please.
What can you do? Move
Nothing.
if you want. I don't think there is anywhere in
Well,
the world that has perfect weather.
I
There's
will
always
tell.
something. All right. Everyone have a great day. Thank
Okay,
you so
thank you,
much for
Debbie.
You
being
too,
here.
Debbie. Thank
you.
you.
Sending
Good
you lots
weekend
of
to
love.
everybody.
And
Have a
we'll see
nice
Bye-bye.
you
weekend,
next week.
everyone.
Bye.
Yes, same to
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you. Bye-bye.